Y'all, Stand Almighty, aka the Global Dark Skin Ambassador, aka Ball Men Do It Better, aka the Velour Don. Now let's talk about these Bronx Savages, man. I used to shake hands with Bronx Savages, you know. It's one thing to aspire to be like killers. It's one thing to admire killers. It's one thing to love their music. But it's a whole nother thing to be 15, 16, 17 years old and you going to school with them. You shaking their hands. You doing missions with them. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the young brother Nas EBK, all right? Bronx drill rapper Nas EBK, who was arrested for bullying civilians and shot right in New Jersey, has been picked up by New York detectives for a second-degree murder charge in relation to a shooting he allegedly did in Times Square, Manhattan, that left a man dead. Now, I'm going to give my Nate Almighty take on this. And my Nate Almighty take on this is that they got the brother. There's some evidence on him, clearly it seems like. So you know what? Let him do his time. Let him do his time. You know, everybody want to be tough. Everybody want to be a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to have millions of tattoos all over your face. Everybody want to be tough, but here's the thing though. You ain't really tough until you do whatever you did, and now you facing them years. So guess what, man? Nas EBK, all the other EBK homies, all the drill homies and all that, the young boys that's doing their thing, they want to tear it up. Y'all want to make New York City feel like the 80s and 90s again. This will come with it. State indictments, federal indictments, RICO charges. This is what come with it. And guess what, man? After everything you did, now whatever time you looking at, if it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, guess what? You got to hold it down now. You got to stand on that business. Stand on that business and make sure that your name is going to be respected forever. If you got kids, make sure your kid's father's name is respected in the streets now. Since you want him to be so lit in the streets, you know, it's like, I don't get what's up with these young boys. You know, even me, when I was their age and I was in the streets, and like I always say, a lot of these kids are way more active than I was. You know, I've been in a shootout or two. You feel me? I've cut a face or two. I've jumped a dude or two. I did a couple years in prison. You know, I ain't never, separated someone's life from their body. I never liberated somebody's soul from their body, but I've been involved in a couple situations. But a lot of these younger dudes are more active than I've been. But here's the thing, right? Since that's who you want to be, and you want to disregard the fact that you've seen the older guys before you go down, just like I did, but now my generation is a whole extra generation that they knew went down. So now since the 80s to the 90s, to the early 2000s, to the 2010s. That's 4 generations of gangsters, street dudes. That's 40 years, 30, 40, 45 years of knowing your fathers and your uncles and you know what I'm saying? Everybody went down dealing with gangs and all this other stuff, you know? Everybody went down for the crack era. Y'all seen these things happen. And y'all still want to play in the streets? Like, I don't even get Nas EBK. First of all, you on Times Square with the grip and you shooting, you want to go to jail. So since he want to go to jail, you know what I'm saying? He want to be frail. He want to almost smile when he noticing the cameras looking at him. You know what I mean? He probably tough, but it's only one way to prove it. You got to go to jail and you got to stand on it now. You know what I'm saying? Don't become an informant, and next thing you know, the rest of your homies is getting locked up. And come to find out, you know what I mean, you on a sealed indictment or something. You know what I'm saying? Don't sacrifice no one else because you got yourself put in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you want to be tough, this will come with it. And the only thing I can say after that is, hopefully some of these guys will learn and they can save themselves before it's too late.